Hi, everyone. I'm Shay Moraga. My job title is actually CEO and founder of Shay's Warriors Life After Cancer. That is the nonprofit that myself and a few of my friends actually started about 4.5 years back, I'd say. And it was started because I went through stage 3 triple negative breast cancer. When you go through cancer, you learn a lot. You learn a lot of what works, what doesn't work. You learn that you have anxiety and fears that you never knew that you had. But you also, for me, not for everybody. So when I say this, I mean it very personally. For me, cancer was a gift. It opened my eyes to things that are needed and that we need to bridge a gap together with our medical communities. Our medical community here in the Coachella Valley is outstanding. We have a lot of awesome doctors, nurses, social work psychologists, everything. But what I personally experienced was after cancer, after you're done and the doctor says you are disease free, no evidence of disease, what happens is everyone celebrates with you. They're excited for you. You get to go on with life. But then there's something that stops you because the support system that you had prior is gone on a day-to-day basis. Everyone's lives needs to go gradually back to normal, except for the mindset of that person who has gone through cancer. It's always lingering in the back of your mind. Is the cancer going to come back? That personally happened to me. And as I shared my story on a blog through cancer and then after cancer, a lot of people came to me and said, I have those same feelings. And I started to think about it and I'm like, wow, like how do we get through this? Because I've also noticed too that anyone who's experienced cancer, we're stronger together. And because of the fact, probably because they understand my fears and my anxieties as soon as they tell me they've had cancer. It's just that simple. And it's very hard to explain to others, but others can empathize with that. And what I noticed is there wasn't a lot of people talking about it. So Shay's Warriors Life After Cancer was really starting to be talked about. Life after cancer. We don't want to live in that space of always being the cancer person, but we do want to move on. How do we do that when we still have those fears and those anxieties that we have inside us? So let me take you back about 20 years ago. I was in college in the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, and a friend of mine dragged me to a yoga class. And I was like, no, yoga is for hippies. I'm not into that. My mom was a hippie. She loved it. And so I always had this mindset in my mind, yoga was not for me. I was like on a corporate ladder. I loved what I did. I graduated with communications and theater design back in the day. And I did advertising. And, I was just, I wanted to be the top in my company. And then one day I just decided, you know what, this isn't for me anymore. And why not try that yoga class with my friend? And we did. And there was just something about the yoga class that really soothed me, kept my anxiety levels low. I was able to kind of breathe, go back to work, and just decide on a more calmer level, is this really what I want to do for the rest of my life? And it wasn't. I ultimately wanted to do my own business, which ironically, and this does cross over with what we do now, it was a property management company. I had an opportunity to invest in a condo at the time, and I started renting out those condos. And then other people said, "Hey, would you like to manage our condos?" And soon enough, I was with a business partner, and we were managing HOAs in the Twin Cities market. That again, kind of with the cities and boom, we really developed this beautiful company, and then cancer hit. And it was almost someone intervening in my life again, saying, you don't want to climb that corporate ladder anymore. You need to go back to your yoga. You need to go back to what is good for you. Because I already knew inside I was all wrapped up in a ball. It was stress. Anyone who's been in property management knows it's a little stressful. And it wasn't something that I was really aligned with anymore and grounded with. So I went back to my yoga, I went back to my teaching. I ended up, this is about 25 years ago, but I have probably more certifications and hours in yoga than I do in my own college degree I went for 4 years at. And I've probably spent more money getting those times and degrees. I did training, 1,000 hour training. I also did trauma training, children's training, restorative yoga, spin instructor, cancer coaching training just recently. And then also, I'm a certified master personal trainer. I got that degree just for educational purposes on life after cancer, how now my body can move better after women have gone through breast cancer or after uterine cancer or cervical cancer, whatever that might be, because it's really, really important to know your body, to understand it. And that's what saved my life, because I listened to my body through the gift of just practicing yoga, practicing that mindfulness, and coming from there. It was at that time after I was done, when I would sit in the chemo room with other people, and I'd notice I had a lot of support and friends that would come, and they would be like, well, here's your, we got brought you a tea or something. And then every week, if you've ever been in a chemotherapy room, every week it's the same people, same day, getting their therapy. And there were some people that did not have anyone, and there were people from Mecca and Thermal, and people from Desert Hot Springs, and people from Beaumont coming down, because we have some of the best doctors around. And this is the place where they're at. And sometimes they'd sit there for 5 hours and nobody would be there. So you get to know some of these people and you talk to them. And I'd say, do you have any friends or family? And they're like, nope, I'm here and I'm just going back to work after this. And it was like, that was what they needed to do. So after I was done with my chemotherapy, for about a year, I'd go back and I would drop off little goodies to someone that might need something, books or drinks, or just little hard rock candies, because those are good. And Shay's Warriors kind of came into conception because of the fact I'm like, we need a buddy system. We need to have people that help us. And how do we help us grow in life after cancer? And it's about breathing through. It's about yoga, meditation. It's about getting out to walk. It's about being out in nature and the hike. It's also about finding someone who understands that you now have a second chance at life, and to be able to, no matter what, talk to that person and just get your feelings out. And so that's kind of what we do. We do programming. COVID kind of switched us around a little bit, but we have programming that is our Talk, Listen, and Share, which is an educational portion of life after cancer. How do we get back to stuff? We have a fitness modality of that, where we host just having someone come along with us. There's no charge for this. We go out, we do a fitness community together. We have Coffee and Connection that we hosted in person before COVID. And then now we just do it privately in a private group. And we're planning our retreat for next year, which is a yoga, mindfulness, and wellness retreat that we will hopefully have everybody involved in our valley on that, because it is a bridge and a connection of our medical community and our survivorship community, so that we can thrive in life after cancer. So that's what I do. It's an all volunteer board. I still have my real job too. So, but it really is my purpose in after cancer. So